So now, a sitting NAS president comes out boldly and says, you will end up like Mohammed Abacha. That is not just a statement. That is a warning backed by pain, by experience, and by what the claim he went through inside DSS custody. Let me break this down for you. This man said he wrote to the DG of DSS, wrote to the Inspector General of Police, named names, gave phone numbers, and what happened? Nothing. Are you telling me in this country someone allegedly adopted, tortured, and named suspects, and the system just look away? Are we pretending this is normal now? And then he goes deeper. He says NAS itself, an organization that should be protecting Nigerian students, is filled with thoughts, cultists, and thugs. Let us sink in. The same body that is supposed to fight for students has been compromised from within. And you know what hit me the most? This is not a hungry undergraduate speaking. This is someone with a degree, a master, someone who said he has already left activism, but Nigeria begged him to come back to clean the system. And now, look at what he is facing. He is saying clearly, if this case is not investigated, I will continue to believe he sent those people. That is serious. That is not an allegation you sweep under the carpet. Then he dropped the bomb. He bring up history. He reminded us what happened during Abacha's time, how power was used, how people were humiliated, and how in the end everything turned. And now he is saying on record he will go to prison. Do you understand the level of confidence or anger it takes for someone to say that publicly in Nigeria? This is not just about one person anymore. This is about a pattern. He said they damaged his hand. A grown man, educated, articulated, now struggling to write like a primary school child because of what he allegedly suffered. And you expect Nigerians to keep quiet? No. This is exactly how injustice grows. When people hear story like this and move on like it is entertainment, it says something very powerful. The most powerful is God Almighty. That line tells you he has lost faith in the system, but not in justice. And that is dangerous for any country, because when citizens stop believing in institutions, they start seeking justice elsewhere. Now, let me ask you, because I want you to think, if this case is real and nothing is done, what message are we sending to every young Nigerians watching this? I am not done. Now, listen to me very carefully, because this is where it gets even more dangerous. Because what we are seeing here is not just one man crying out. It is reflection of a system that only moves when it is convenient for the powerful. You heard him clearly. He reported to the highest authorities, not bloggers, not social media or official channels. And still, nothing happened. So let me ask you again, what exactly are these institutions for? Because if someone can allege torture, name individuals, submit petition, and the system refuses to act, then what are you telling Nigeria? In simple English, power protects power, and the ordinary citizens, you are on your own. Now let's talk about that statement that is shaking everywhere. You will end up like Mohammed Abacha. When you hear a name like Mohammed Abacha, you are not just hearing a person, you are hearing history. You are hearing a legacy of power, controversies, and what happened when the tide turned. Because whether you like it or not, Nigeria has a pattern. People feel untouchable until suddenly they are not. And that is exactly what the NAS president is pointing at. He is saying history repeats itself when people refuses to learn. Now, let's bring it back home. We are talking about Seyi Tinubu, a name that carries influence, power, and proximity to the highest office in the land. So when an accusation like this is made and it is not addressed, you create tension, you create suspicion, you create a country where truth becomes optional, depending on who is involved. And let me tell you something Nigerians don't like to hear. Silence in situations like this is not neutral. Silence look like protection. Now, think about the psychological part of this story. A man says his hand was damaged. He can't even write properly anymore. Do you understand what that means? That is not just physical pain, that is humiliation. That is someone saying they didn't just touch me, they broke a part of my identity. And yet we moved on. We screw past, we argue tribe and politics. No, this is bigger than that because today it is him. Tomorrow it could be anybody who dares to speak. And this is where I will challenge you watching me right now. Not everything is about taking side. Sometimes it is about asking the right question. Why has this not been investigated? Why are the named individuals not questioned publicly? Why is there no transparency? Because accountability is not selective. If this allegation is false, prove it. If it is true, act on it. But this middle ground of silence, that is where injustice grows. And let me tell you the most chilling part of everything he said. He said, whether you succeed in killing me or not, that is not normal language. That is someone who feels threatened, someone who believes the system can go that far. So now I ask again, what kind of country are we building? A country where people are afraid to speak? Or a country where truth, no matter how uncomfortable, can stand? Because right now, from everything we are seeing, the answer is not looking good. This is where everything comes to a head because at some point, Nigeria have to stop pretending like this story are isolated. They are not. This is a pattern, allegation of abuse, silence from authorities, and then time passes and everybody moved on like nothing happened. But let me tell you something dangerous about that cycle. One day, it will stop working because frustration is building, anger is building, and more importantly, awareness is growing. Now, look at what this man is demanding. He didn't say, give me sympathy. He didn't say, trend his name. He said two simple things: investigate the matter, compensate the damage done. That is it. Basic justice. And that should scare you because when justice becomes a luxury, oppression becomes normal. Now let's go deeper because many people are still missing the real issue here. This is not just about Seyi Tinubu. No, this is about what its name represents: power, influence, connection to the very top. And when someone connected to that level is accused and nothing happened, it sent a message across Nigeria. There are two sets of laws, one for the powerful, one for the rest of us. You don't deceive yourself. That message travels far. It enters the mind of every young Nigerian hustling, every student, every activist, and it plants a seed. If anything happened to me, will I get justice? Now imagine a country where the answer to that question is no. What do you think will happen? People will stop believing. People will stop trusting. And when trust dies in a nation, chaos is not far behind. That is why this moment is bigger than politics. It is bigger than tribe. It is bigger than party. This is about the soul of Nigeria. Now let's address something directly because some people will say, where is the evidence? And that is a fair question. But here is my response. That is exactly why there must be an investigation, not silence, not intimidation, not distraction. Investigation. Transparent, open, even accountable. Because if you ignore allegation like this, you don't kill the story, you fuel it, you make it grow, you make more people believe the worst. And that is exactly what we are seeing right now. Think about that. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. For more political stories and breakdown, like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.